Welcome to Restored by Polished, where we talk about how polish helps us with our overall mental and physical well-being. I'm Krista. I'm filming another quick video on my own, mostly because, well, for one, I don't think Jack will be really interested in this topic. And then two, well, I don't know, she might be for a few of the things, since she is kind of a skin and beauty person. But the other thing is we're still kind of struggling to get our times together, so I figured I'd kind of supplement here and there with one of my solo videos, so hopefully you guys are okay with that. And I'm trying really hard to find a spot in my room here that the glare isn't on my glasses, so I apologize if my eyeglasses are like flashing at you, and please ignore all this. This is not supposed to all be out. If you even saw my nail desk right now, you would be like, how do you even do your nails? Because it's a disaster. I so badly need to do a reorganization of everything, and I just haven't bit the bullet. I'm kind of going back and forth between whether or not I should reorg doing it by colors, or if I'm gonna go and redo it like how I normally do it, which is by brand. I don't know, I'm kind of leaning towards color this time, just because I feel like there's so many times when I feel like I want a red, or I want a specific blue, and I just need, and having to go through all of my drawers to compare the different colors is kind of annoying. So I might try it. I might try it one time. But yeah, as you can see, these are all polishes I've either not put away or have pulled for other things. Like these are some spring polishes that I had pulled out that didn't actually make it to our spring rack video. So, but you know, I'll get to it eventually. All right, so today's video, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So I really want to talk about the things that I use that I really love, like nail item products, I guess. And I've got some things that I absolutely love and some things that I just use because that's all I've been using, I guess, you know, not things I would like go write home about, but I do have some things that I do really enjoy. So let's start with, well, first of all, I always start by taking off my nail polish, right? So you take off your nail polish. I use a little nail clippies, and I use my handy dandy trusty acetone. I don't really have a particular acetone brand that I love. Usually just whatever when I'm out shopping and I see one, or if I'm at Sally. Usually if I'm at Sally's, I'll get the Beauty Secrets one because it's bigger. But I always use 100% acetone. And then recently what I've been doing is buying glycerin. So this is just some plain old glycerin I got at Walmart, and essential oils. And I've been making my own acetone additive because I felt like I was spending a lot of money buying acetone additive like every month in PPU or HHC. I will say I bought these at Marshall's, and it is by Woolsey's. The thing that made me pick up this one is because it has no toxins in it. So it's natural, vegan, no toxins, no synthetics, no unnatural fragrances, no parabens, and no dyes. I figured I'm going to be putting this on my skin, although I'm not going to keep it on there forever. I just wanted it to be as safe as possible if I'm going to have it on my skin, so that's why I looked for something like that. And this one happened to be a Christmas one or a holiday one, and it's in some really pretty smells. They're kind of blends, so it's not like there's one that's vanilla or one. They're just blends of like clove and lemon and cinnamon in one particular bottle. So they're kind of nice. They're nice little smells in there. So that's what I've been doing. I've been loving that. My acetone is so much better having that additive in there. And if you want the recipe for how to make your own acetone additive, I got it from Miss Thompson, who was a big nail YouTuber for a while there. I think she's doing more like home stuff now, which I enjoy too. But I will list her recipe. That's the one that I use to make acetone additive. All right, so I take all of that off. And then the other thing that I do immediately, and especially if I'm swatching and I'm taking nail polish off constantly, is, and I'm gonna flash up the actual product of what this is. This is just how I store mine, which is a soap that I get from Lush. And it's particular soap, it's called the Bohemian, and I'm gonna put that right here. Bohemian soap. It is amazeballs. Like, I can't even tell you how amazing it is. When I'm swatching, my hands are actually like more nourished and moisturized than when I'm not swatching because that soap is so hydrating. So I'll take the nail polish off, scrub with the nail. What I do is I put the nail brush onto the soap and kind of wet it down, and then just scrub to get especially if you have like metallic-y or glittery polishes that you're doing, and they just come out and they're just like all nice and silky smooth. And so that helps from having to like re-oil and re-hydrate using like lotion in between when I'm swatching. So I love that. So that's one of the things I definitely use now. They are, I think, like $8.75 for just a little bar. They last quite a while. Mine will last probably about 6 months, unless I'm like really heavily swatching, and then it might be more like 4 months. So you don't need a lot, but it definitely works. So that is probably one of my most favorite nail items that I use. And I have to thank one of my sons, my middle son. He was the one that actually, he went to Lush looking for, I can't remember if it was Mother's Day or my birthday, and he just walked in and said, my mom likes to do nails. What does she need? And they went, she needs this. And yeah, they got me hooked on that. So for sure. Okay, so once I have that all done, if I am gonna apply lotion, I am sort of old school. I love this O'Keeffe's Working Hands, which I use a lot of. I mean, I usually buy them in massive tubs. I live in a very, very dry state. We have very, very low humidity. It is super dry here. No matter what time of year, it is dry. And so I definitely have to put lotion on multiple times a day. So I go through a lot of this and I love it. I have tried others, and I always end up going back to O'Keeffe's. I don't know what's in it. I know Jacqueline would probably turn her nose up at it. I'm sure there's probably ingredients that aren't great, but I do really like this O'Keeffe's. All right, so now I've got my nails hydrated and hands hydrated. I just wanted to add in here, so if you are working with your cuticles, I probably wouldn't do like super big cuticle care right before I polish as far as like oiling or moisturizing my cuticles. But when I do, my very, very favorite, I have like 3 different things I use for my cuticles, but my very, very favorite is a new one that I just got. And this is called Maxis. And it is Maxis, it's called Jojoba Believe It Butter. So it's basically all jojoba extract that's in here, or the ointment that's so good for your nails and your skin. And my older son actually got this for me. Everybody knows in my family just to buy me nail stuff. So, but he got this for me for Christmas this year, and I've been using it now since Christmas, and I love it. My cuticles have never looked better. My cuticles are usually really dry, and I have horrible cuticles that definitely overgrow my nails constantly. But this one, here's the thing I found with this one. I feel like it's thinned my cuticles out, which no other product has ever done. So now they don't grow as much. They're not as thick anymore. So that's why I'm a big believer in this one. If I don't have that, or if you're looking for something a little more inexpensive, because this one's like $25, although I think it's worth it for what it does, I will often use Burt's Bees. So it's the lemon butter cuticle cream, and I will list everything in the description box below. I'll have links to everything if I can. But this one I use too, and I often use this one right before I remove polish. So before I put my clippies on, I'll put this Burt's Bees all over my cuticles, and then put my clippies on to keep my cuticles protected. And then if I'm not going to do a butter or a cream, I will use, which is an old school. This is from Christine from Simply Illogical. She was the one that first recommended these. These are those Bliss Kiss pens. I have tried other oils. I still always go back to this one. This is my favorite one. I think maybe because I like the pen application the best. I don't know. I just feel like this one is really good. I feel like when I've used other ones, they don't work as well as this one. But I will say I have heavily moved into using the cuticle butter from Maxis now. So I just really carry these in my purse. So if I'm out somewhere in the car or whatever, I have something there. Okay, so hydrated, cuticles are done, and you're ready to start painting. So the first thing that I love to use, of course, we're always going to use base coat, right? Base coat, protect your natural nail. So we got to do that. And I have gone through so many. In fact, I started out using OPI's Nail Envy before I knew how bad that it was. And actually, I think it ruined my nails. It worked for a little while, and then all of a sudden it just was really making my nails awful. So after going through many different trial and error, my absolute favorite, I have to say, is the Orly Bonder base coat. This one, I feel like it really sucks the polish into it and bonds to my nail. So I do think it really protects and / helps just keep the nail polish on because it's bonding that polish to your nails. So Orly Bonder base coat. I typically get mine off of Amazon, I guess, but you can get them anywhere. I've seen them in a lot of places. Although when I've been in Walmart, they typically have, sorry, we got a frame here, but they typically have this really small bottle for the same price as I can get the bigger bottle. And then also on Amazon, or even just at the Orly site, you can get like the refill bottles. I haven't done that yet. I'm kind of picky about, I like to open up a fresh new bottle, like across the board. I feel like it's better than just adding more and more to it, but I might try it with this because it's not like it's super thick. It's pretty thin, so it's probably fine. Okay, so got my base coat on, and of course, you're gonna do your whole mani, and then you're gonna need a top coat, right? So top coating. My absolute hands down holy grail of top coats is, and this is a really popular one, is the one from Glisten and Glow. It's the Glisten and Glow, what does she call it? Clear, shiny, fat, just top coat. It's just a top coat. I don't think it really has a name. But again, you can buy these on her site in like the refill bottles. I typically don't. I just buy lots of bottles. And I probably should buy the refill bottles. I like to have a nice fresh brush and a fresh clean bottle. And I don't know, I'm weird. Maybe at some point I'll start buying the refill bottles. I just have not done that. So that is my tried and true. I even use this over stamping. I still have to wait a little bit. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes it will smear just a tiny little bit if you don't wait long enough. I hate smudge-free top coats. Hate them. No matter what I do, they peel off. So I can only keep my mani on for like a day. Even if I put another top coat on top of the smudge-free top coat, it still peels off. It just peels right off of my fingernail. So that's why I never use smudge-free top coat. I know a lot of people love them. I just never use them. The one bad thing about quick dry top coats, and I still struggle with this, especially on cream finishes, is that I do get shrinkage. Not as much with this one as say like a Sèche Vite, but they do kind of shrink. And couple things on that, a couple points I figured out with that. One, waiting long enough, and even Glisten and Glow, she even says on her site to wait before you add the quick dry top coat. Try and make sure that your polish is as dry as it can possibly be before you put the quick dry top coat on. And I know everyone's gonna say, well, what's the point of quick dry top coat if you have to do that? But if you're picky about your manis, and I am very picky about my manis, I don't like there to be any imperfections, then I like to wait. Another thing I have started doing, and I've done it in the last few manis, is I have another top coat that I got actually like in a pack that I found at Marshall's for Color Club, which is this Color Club top coat. It's very thin. Oh, got tape on there. I guess they just call it their top coat. It's a super thin top coat. But I have started putting this on my manis right away. And then I wait and then put the Glisten and Glow on top, and that seems to work really well. So as far as like helping like with that whole shrinkage thing, the way that quick dry top coats work, and maybe that's the science that we aren't familiar with, but they bond to the layer of polish that's right beneath it. So when it bonds to that layer, it's gonna dry that top layer. So if you've got 3 layers of nail polish on, only that top layer is gonna shrink back, especially if it's wet. And so you'll get that kind of look like there's like layers around your nail. So that's why I'm saying my advice is to make sure that your nails dry as much as possible before you add that quick dry top coat. Like I said, even using the Color Club one, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting a little bit, even with when I'm putting the Color Club one on. All right, what else do I have for things that I want to? Oh, I forgot to talk about cuticle remover. I forgot to put that one in there. So I actually have a very, very favorite cuticle remover, and I'm going to link that right here because I actually don't have a bottle with me right now. I haven't ordered it in a little bit because during the pandemic, you couldn't get it. It was out, and I think it's called Estemia, and it's the one that Christine from Simply Illogical also recommended. And I have tried many, and that one just always seems to be the best to soften those cuticles and be able to push those back. When I don't have that one, I've been using this one from Supernail, which is just a cuticle softener and remover. Again, you know, it's the same kind of deal. You put it on, leave it on for a little bit, and then not super long. You don't want to kill your cuticles, and then, you know, use whatever your cuticle remover tool is that you use. So let's talk about that a little bit. I tend to only use orange sticks wood sticks, and you can buy these. I mean, I'll link it below, but you can, they're a dime a dozen really on Amazon. I like this particular length. I find it easy to hold in smaller hands. But that is typically what I use to push my cuticles back. I like it because it's not as harsh as, say, a medical cuticle pusher, which if I use those, they tend to damage my nail bed, and you don't want to do that. You definitely don't want to damage your nail bed. The bad thing about using these for cuticle pushers is that they wear out pretty quickly on those tips. So it's, you know, it's natural to plant products. So you get it wet enough, especially with cuticle remover, and you're softening the wood on there. And so yeah, they don't work as well, you know, do that. So, but they're so cheap that I figured, you know, who cares, right? All right, let's see. I think I've got one more thing, a couple more things. So 2 more things to talk about. The other thing that I use a lot are these little, they're like the little acetone wipes. And I find that these, and I buy these I got at the dollar store. So like you can find them just about anywhere. You can order them on Amazon as well. But I use them to clean off my like necks of my polishes, you know, when they get all crusty and gross from swiping of the brush. So I use them. I mean, I just find those easier, and they're not as linty like as a cotton ball would be. So I think that these are really good to get all of that crud off of the necks. I probably have a million bottles that I need to get that done at, but what I've been trying to do systematically now is whenever I'm doing my nails or going, you know, looking at nail polish, if I see it, I set it aside, and then in between polishes, when I have my nails not polished, I will, you know, take 5 or 6 of them and make sure that they're cleaned off, and then repeat the process every time I come across bottles that need that. Why do we do that? Does anybody know why we're doing that? We know because if we don't seal our bottles all the way, they're going to get air into the bottles, and they're going to make your polishes get thick and gloopy. And yeah, it's going to ruin your polishes, especially with like glitter polishes. So you want to make sure you're keeping your necks clean on your bottle. The last thing, my very favorite thing, and this is not going to be for everybody, but I love this thing, and I'm probably going to have to show you. Well, I guess I can do it here. I got this for Christmas as well, and look, it's been 3 months, and I love this thing. So it is basically a little tote, and it's got lots of compartments on it. And I use this. The biggest thing is because the base layer of it, I'm gonna get it so that I don't have any of the polishes falling out here, but they have like little individual little, uh-oh, I'm gonna drop everything over here. Uh-oh, we're having a crash of polishes over here. But it's not showing as well in here, but they stay up straight. But there's like little like soft insert in here that keeps every single bottle from clanking next to each other. And I use this for traveling when I go back and forth like between our cabin or whatnot. I can just throw polishes in there, and I know that they're safe and they're not gonna clank around. And then on top of that, I can put all of my nail stuff in here. So like in here, I've got like extra brushes if I need to change out brushes, or if I have more of my little cuticle wipes that I use up there. And then I also keep some like nail art things in here. So I've got like some little decals that are here. And then it also has another layer on top of there where you can keep like all of your tools. So you can stick tools in there. I don't have anything in there because obviously I have everything out at the moment, but you know, these are all little individual compartments right here where my thumb is. So you can put like brushes, or like I've got my cleanup tools in there. You can put your cuticle nippers or anything like that you want to put in here. So I find that this is super helpful for all those things. I even keep like magnets, you know, if I want to do a magnetic polish. And this way I know where everything is, especially like my favorite base coats and things like that. So I know where everything is, and I'm not forgetting something, because we do travel back and forth between our 2 places quite a bit. And so I like to make sure that, you know, I'm not forgetting anything. So this is a good way for me to remember that everything is actually right here. All the things that I absolutely need are going to be right here in this little case, and I can just carry it like that or put it into a bag or whatever. So this one is from Nikogina. I'm not sure. There's quite a few of them. I just happened to pick this one off, and my husband bought it for me. So off the list of possibilities. So I forgot to mention that I also use this particular nail file that I got at HHC. It's by Germanicure, and it's called their like gray half moon file. I really like the shape of this one. It just is comfortable to use. I wish it was a little bit thinner, but I do really like this one. All right, I think those are all of my favorite nail things. Do you use any of these? Do you have any questions about them? What are your favorite products? What am I missing out on? I can think of only one thing that I know I will probably end up purchasing at some point, which will be lint-free wipes. I do think that I at some point might buy some lint-free wipes so that I'm not getting lint on everything. I haven't had too much trouble with that as far as like cotton pieces getting on things, but every once in a while I get in a fight and there's, you know, some kind of stringy mess that's keeps ending up in my polish, which is, as you know, super annoying. So, but other than that, if there's any other items that you think I'm missing from favorite items, I would love to know. I'd like to know if I'm missing out. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye.